media conversations usually tend to focus on the Supreme Court and the High Court. Whenever we do talk about the district courts, it's usually to critique a judgment or an order or an observation, to say how regressive, how terrible.
The district courts are the first point of contact for a majority of the litigants in the country, because district courts are literally located in every district, and that's where your average Indian, when he interfaces with the justice system, somehow they've just completely fallen off the radar, because the high courts and the Supreme Courts appear to gobble up much of the newsprint when it comes to setting the news for the day.
That there was this huge gap in scholarship on district courts, because most of the attention was paid to the higher courts.
Is it because they are not sexy enough, like Supreme Courts are just, it's more fascinating to be talking about what they say?
I mean, part of it is a colonial history, So the high courts, when they were originally created, they had white British judges. The lower courts were populated with Indians, local Indians.
The natives.
A district judge can sentence you to death, but he can't hold you in contempt of court.
You would assume that independence of the judiciary is something that applies across all courts. And what we found was
district court judges are subject to the same set of disciplinary rules as the bureaucrats in the state government. Your district court judges have less job security than a clerk in the government.
We have this impression that judges probably do take bribes, right? There is a public perception that works against, especially in the district courts, that something's amiss, or they are going to take bribes. So what's the motivation for this arbitrary sort of inquiries?
We have come across cases where judges have been hauled up by the high courts via disciplinary proceedings for what were perceived to be errors in their judgments. And the way the charges are framed in these cases are Kafkaesque.
And of course, there is one accused judge who's targeted in one disciplinary action, but that message is sent across to all their peers that this is probably making you more vulnerable to disciplinary inquiries. They don't really have an immunity, a qualified immunity, even for their decisions.
The usual perception is that they're all powerful and they can do whatever they want and there's no one that can rein them in. But here, as you show, there's just too much of a fear sort of psychosis.
Unlike, say, an impeachment proceeding for a high court judge, where the impeachment motion is public, the final inquiry committee report is public, and the final vote happens on TV. Here, everything happens behind closed doors.
Judges who are serving are very reluctant to talk to anyone. This is the kind of environment they work in, so they are not at all candid. So the higher judiciary will perhaps not discuss it because this does mean taking away a part of their power.
But don't they have enough already on their plate? Wouldn't it be nice to just like...
Yeah, but this is where they get the real kick.
Exactly.
So for example, if a high court judge goes to a district, all the judges in that district, the district court judges, they all come, do salam. There are cases where they land up at the railway station to receive the judge.
It's very feudal.